At least 13 people are missing and another 100 are reportedly stranded after a landslide swept through the Italian island of Ischia. An estimated 6 million people are still without power in Ukraine on Friday after a targeted attack by Russian forces on the country's infrastructure, according to Kyiv. At least 13 people are missing after a landslide swept through an Italian island off the coast of Naples early Saturday morning. Caused by heavy rains, the landslide in Ischia reportedly buried a house and swept several cars into the sea. Local authorities have urged the island's residents to stay in their homes, and at least 100 people are reportedly stranded. Darkness on the streets of Lviv, as around 6 million people in Ukraine are still without power, as the situation is still desperate after a targeted attack by Russian forces on the country's infrastructure, according to Kyiv. Today, there is not a single thermal and hydropower plant in Ukraine that has not been fired upon by the enemy, and the largest nuclear plant in Europe, Zaporizhzhia MPP, remains occupied. Despite this, today our energy system has emerged from a severe system accident. Currently, electricity producers provide 70% coverage of consumption needs. Workers across the country are working tirelessly to get the rest of Ukraine's lights and heat turned back on. Around 50% of Ukraine's energy facilities have been damaged, what France's foreign minister described as Moscow's attempt to weaponize winter.
Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing-wen, has resigned as head of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party after the public overwhelmingly backed the opposition Nationalist Party in several major electoral races. While the president focused on concerns over the self-ruling island's relationship with China, which considers the territory as part of its own, many local experts think that it was not a big electoral issue. Re-elected Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has been sworn in after winning his second consecutive term in a snap election. He will rule for 7 more years without the possibility of re-election due to a recent constitutional amendment. In a speech, Tokayev said he was keen to strengthen ties to close-by countries. He said, "The focus of our attention will primarily be set on mutually beneficial cooperation and strategic partnership with neighboring states, Russia, China, and the fraternal countries of Central Asia, as well as partners in integration associations." On Monday, Tokayev will travel to Moscow to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. In the election last week, Tokayev won over 80% of the vote in an election criticized by international observers for its lack of pluralism and competitiveness. Under the slogan, "Eating should not be a luxury," volunteers started the annual food donation drive for Spain's network of food banks. Like in many other countries, people are struggling here with food price increases and rampant inflation, caused in part by the war in Ukraine. In last year's donation drive, 4.5 million kilos of food was given. It's hoped that this year they can surpass that level.
Did you know that Valencia is the European capital of smart tourism? As Spain's 3rd largest city and a listed UNESCO World Heritage Site, Valencia hosts a thriving cultural and artistic scene. From Wednesday to Monday, it organised a conference on smart destinations, sharing its strategies on sustainability and accessibility, blended together with the use of modern technology.
The new tourist is no stranger to the media and to news with a global impact related to sustainability. And today's modern tourist carries a smartphone, which carries a lot of information and can access many services.
Being a smart destination is about building a tourist destination with the inhabitants. That destination is pleasant for permanent residents and will also be attractive for temporary residents.
Valencia certainly hopes to see you soon.